Welcome back to a replay from some of the best performance from rotation 3 as we now reach the halfway stage of this women's team competition, and Russia have now taken the lead, albeit after some real drama with Korkina and Prodanova having all kinds of trouble in their vault. Russia ahead of Romania, with host nation China holding on to the bronze medal, Ukraine, Australia and USA. So Romania will ask more of their competitors as we take a look at the floor exercise just a few moments ago of Maria Alaru, who really did get off the competition with such a good start. But now they find themselves, well, locked in that classic battle once again, Monica. A repeat of Lausanne, a repeat of the games almost all over again, with Alaru, one of the competitors who Romania will look to come strong in their final 2 rotations to take the gold once again.
Well, the interesting thing is that the Romanians did not score as highly as we usually recognise them to score on beam. But in saying that, the Russians have yet got to go on beam, and depending on how they feel by that, if by that last round when the Russians go on beam they're in the riding seat, then they will push Romania all the way. But it really depends on their mental state of mind before they go to beam.
Well, just an indication from the scoring so far just how close it is, not only between Russia and Romania for gold and silver, but look at the battle there for that bronze medal position. The slightest of mistakes from China and the Ukraine will take the bronze, and don't write Australia just yet, a nation which has got its strongest apparatus to come.
And do you remember the little Chinese girl stepping out of the floor and losing a 10th? Well, that was the team place that she lost. They could be in silver medal position. You know, this has got to be the cruelest sport as regards being close. You talk about the time of a stopwatch, but when it's 0.5, which divides one performance from another, it's practically the blink of an eye.
So let's have a look at rotation 4. China on the vault, Russia on the A-bars, United States on the beam, and the Ukraine on the floor, with Romania in action on the vault in the 5th rotation. Just to remind you, 6 rotations taken in, and from the 6 teams qualifying, and 12 teams from this World Championship event qualifying for the Olympic Games. If you've just joined us for this live broadcast here on Eurosport, we're at Tianjin, which is the host to the 34th World Artistic Championships, with a lot of Olympic qualification also going on. 12 teams from the early part of the qualifiers from this World Championships making their Olympic spot. And for all of our British fans tuning in right now, particularly those watching British Eurosport, Team Britain, 11th position, we will be in the competition at Sydney 2000. Let's get straight into the action, and it is Team Ukraine on the floor.
Very impressive opening there with Arabian double as 4th skill. And to my favourite piece of music. So she's got to get good marks.
Well, Skarupa really does need to perform to her best here, as the Ukraine just behind China in that battle for bronze.
Well, that looked quite a peculiar takeoff from the handspring 1.5. That was the Rudy, because she almost did a quarter twist from the Rudy into the somersault. I think it was meant to be a quarter twist from the somersault landing. But a very exact floor routine. Everything well paced, looking now for her final tumble. And really, when you see a gymnast performing tumbles like that and finishing off with the double back piked on the back of 1.5 minutes, highly aerobic floor routine, we know the training that goes in. And I don't think there are many people who have a 6-pack like that, who have the aerobic ability and the local muscular endurance to survive high-level skill. There, the opening Arabian double from the whip flick. That's tumble number 1, tumble number 2. Sorry, that was final tumble. I thought we were going to get a relay of all 4.
I think the director cutting the replay short to get us to scores as soon as they come in, because these really are now vital. This is the key part of the competition. The early nerves now settled. It really is a battle between Europe and Asia, and, well, 9.650, 85.972, second position. That's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but really we've got to say there's a bit of conjecture there between what some of the Chinese girls scored on floor in comparison to that exercise.
Now let's take a look at the beam. Jeanette Antolin for the United States of America. She's looking to emulate Shannon Miller, who took that gold in Atlanta in glorious style. She's got a lot to live up to. And of course the Americans also trailing in 6th position, so as the Olympic champions I'm sure they'll be looking for better in their last 2 rotations of this competition.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how they handle this psychologically, because we all know the Americans, jumping on the crest of a wave, they're great, but they're in 6th position now. Will they be able to fight to stay on beam, or will them being in the last position as they perceive it in this round affect them psychologically, and will they disintegrate? We will but see. At the moment we've got Australia and Romania on rest, and the Ukrainians on floor, Americans on beam, Russians on bars, and Chinese on vault.
Got a lot to live up to. The dream team as they became known. I remember, Monica, you and I with the gymnastics on one side of the stadium and the basketball on the other, and at one stage there were more people in the gymnastics hall than there were in the basketball hall of the Olympic Games. Some 560,000 spectators watched the gymnastics at the Atlanta Olympic Games, but that is not the start that America needed. That is not the kind of performances that they demonstrated at the Olympics 3 years ago. And as you quite rightly pointed out, Monica, the Americans starting to buckle under the pressure, not happy that they're down in last position.
This is where this size of gymnast, whilst I'm not saying that she is large, they are not as finely built as many, and if it begins to go wrong on beam, this is where they accrue penalties for artistry. Not the most flexible when they are that powerful. So tend to lack close beam acrobaticism. And I think the change leg split there. Nice combination, but struggled to get that back circle in a little. But she's picked up very well, because she had a really, really hesitant start. Very nervous. Big wobble. She was anxious beforehand. She had a big weight. Double pike. Well done. Well done. She'd be glad to get that over. Pressure for her, but good for her teammates psychologically, because she fought back. She showed them she could handle it. She gives the rest of them belief that they can handle it too. And the spirit should lift from then on. But what a dicey start. Just look at this. Round off, straight back. Whew, all kinds of things, but she stayed on. A lesser mortal would have been off.
Wobbly start, a powerful dismount, and as you quite rightly pointed out, Monica, I do agree. A lot of courage there shown by the American, and doing well to see that one through and keep America's hopes alive. Anything can happen. We've seen it before in major championships, in team competitions. So easy, just one mistake at a key part of the competition can throw the door wide open. They're still very close between all teams in positions 1 to 6. And let's see how the judges score that, with America looking to battle with Australia and the Ukraine, in 4th, 5th and 6th, and 8, 7, 6, 2. America in 4th position, of course, 2 opting out of this rotation. Tough score.
Yes, tough score, but I think that, you know, what I was saying about their close beam works, some of those movements that she expected to get her start value lifted on, like change leg side with quarter turn, or even the change leg side, was almost like a leap forwards with a little twist on landing.
Elise Ray next for the USA with the beam. Elise, one of the 2 Americans to qualify for the women's all-around competition, finishing 12th there.
This already looks much smarter form. Flickly out flick. Gymnastics is a very, very complicated sport. I've been involved in the sport for more than 40 years now, and I find that as a coach in a gym, it's very difficult to explain to parents whose children are involved in the sport the many, many rules. You have to grow with them. So I feel it's my job not to be critical, but to perhaps give you an enlarged idea of where marks are lost. It's very easy to see where they're gained. Anybody can see that. It's like a big skill. It's like somebody scoring a goal. But it's the finer points that the judges are looking for that you, as viewers, probably don't understand. Like that little wobble. And the somersault that she landed into a jump scores more marks than the somersault landing without anything on the end. And that was the cartwheel into double twisting, gain a somersault.
Vault for Team China. And this is Zhu Jing. No, my mistake, Ling Ji. It's 5-2. Ling Ji.
And Ji does not look a particularly powerful gymnast. Beautiful beam worker. Absolutely exquisite beam worker. Very slender gymnast. You see the difference in type between the Americans and Ling Ji. And there the supposed to be a Phelps vault, which is like a Yurchenko mount with a half twist and then the front somersault. Used to be called a Hristova when it was just from the Sukahara element. But I find it a very debatable 10 tariff vault and look forward to the new code changing its degree of difficulty. 9.237, not a brilliant score.
Elise Ray, 9.450. So the USA go third, but of course there are still a fair few more scores to go into the computer. Coming into this rotation, Team China held on to third position. Now, let's see if Ling Ji can produce another vault. The crowd now have arrived en masse. There weren't too many in the stadium at the beginning of today's competition, but it looks to be a capacity crowd of 10,000 as the Chinese team march forward for that bronze medal.
And they really do need every little bit of aggression that they can muster. And we seem as though we've got sort of a crowd organisation crew all the way around. Crowd's noise crew and crowd quiet crew at the right times.
Well, listen to the crowd go quiet now. The Olympic, world and the European champion on the A-bars next to perform, and she needs to put in a world-class performance once again as Svetlana Korkina looks to maintain Russia's lead over Romania. Romania have held on to the world team title since 1994.
This is fantastic bar work. Stalder's in and out of skills, absolutely superb. You can see now why in the code Stalder's are going to be involved. Full twisting double back, mark on the arms, but really fabulous, superb asymmetric bar work there from Svetlana Korkina.
Ling Ji puts China into second position. Now the points coming in thick and fast. 113.236. But Korkina putting in a scintillating A-bars performance. That's why she should be in Sydney. At 20 years of age, many of you may perceive her to be too old to be an Olympic champion. She's definitely on her way to defend her Olympic title, and with performances like this, it could be a successful job in hand.
Just look at the complication. And she doesn't even wear handguards. Most gymnasts wear handguards. This shows her skill. She just taps the bars. All she wears is a little bit of tape. She's obviously so light on the bars, she doesn't suffer from the friction burns. And there, that nice high full twist before the double back. A landing penalty, but very little else to take off that remarkable exercise.
Now let's see how that affects the Russian score. And by our calculations, albeit scribbled on a piece of paper here in the commentary box, they go first, 115.778 and a 9.825. for the Olympic and defending world champion on 8 bars. That is perfect preparation also for the defence of that title, which you will see live here on Eurosport. Russia go into top position. China are holding on to the silver. There'll be more action, including the defending champions Romania, after the break.